From industry news to mobile technology, leaks, and rumors, we cover tomorrow's tech news today. eSIM Tech News.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back. eSIM Studios Podcast, or should I say eSIM Studios Tech News? Or no, maybe eSIM Tech News sounds better. Anyways, welcome to your tech news hub for all technology here on YouTube. My name is Taylor Bell. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday. What are we? November the 3rd. I missed yesterday. So check this out. I had a huge migraine headache. It lasted for honestly, going on 3 days. 3 days straight. So I think my last live stream was about 3 days ago. I put out a short video yesterday, an AI video with AI voice, right? I get a news article and I put I compose the text, and then I run it through another AI generator, which generates a script, and put it in, added a voice, and so that's where you get the voice. And I had some clips of me with my phone. It was about the Flip series, so I put that out because I did not have the mental capacity to live stream, so I was not in the mood. But I get migraines quite a bit, unfortunately. Well, not quite a bit, but I get a couple every month. So yesterday was my round of my monthly migraine headaches, so nothing today, thank God. So we are off now. I want to thank everybody. Hopefully everybody's had a great weekend. Got some good news when it comes to Google Pixel. It looks like they are on the right path. I'll just put it that way. Also have some interesting news in regards to Intel, right? What are they going to do with the company? What are they going to do with their CPUs? Have interesting news about Apple and their very strong M4 chip for the M4 Pro. Looks to be a beast. And then also wrapping up the news, two sets of Pixel news, right? So we have obviously what was on the thumbnail, the growth. Pixel growth is absolutely outstanding. Got new information that just proves that Google, what they're doing is perfect. They're heading in the right direction. So we'll get into that shortly. And then also some leaked information in regards to future Pixels. So there was some information that came out in regards to the new Google Tensor G5 chip. There was a report, what was it, maybe last week, that the new G5 Tensor chip, the one that's going to be made by TSMC and made by Google, manufactured by TSMC, but we're all hoping for strong performance and a much healthier benchmark results. There was a leak last week that disproved that showed it was just barely better again than the current G4 Tensor G4 CPU that's in these Pixel 9 series. Well, that leak turned out to be false, and kind of a relief, because I was like, oh man, here we go again. That leak was incorrect. I don't think we even reported on that. And I saw that article, not that I'm trying to hide or not report on Google's poor potential future CPUs, but I was like, it's still way too soon. I'm not going to report on that basically until we get a little closer. But the reports were false, and I have the information to prove that. So I think it'll perform much better. It won't just be a little improvement. It'll be a big improvement. Now, as I've mentioned, not going to be the new Tensor. I can promise you this: the new Tensor G5 CPU that's going to be in the Pixel 10 series, not going to be as strong performance-wise as the Snapdragon 8 Elite aka 8 Gen 4. Probably not going to be as strong as the new MediaTek Dimensity 9400, but that's okay. We want to see gradual improvement, but more than like a 4% improvement, right? Kind of like how the G4 CPU in the Pixel 9 was just a minor improvement over the G3 CPU tensor chip that was in the Pixel 8 series. I can promise you this new G5 tensor chip is going to be a noticeable increase in performance. But we'll get into that. So, how's everybody doing today? Y'all doing all right? Man, I do too. I freaking love this Pixel, man. I've ever since it launched, so I got a lot of phones here. And typically I like to put my SIM cards, and I got a bunch of lines too. I think I have like 4 lines. Anyways, the main line, the line I use for my personal life, the line I use to communicate with family. I try to take that SIM out and use it in a different phone, probably like once a week or once every 2 weeks. So at least I've done that in the past, right? I don't just want to stay stuck using one phone forever, because I like to use different phones. Now I have phones here and I'll use them, but I mean use it, right? Like put your main SIM card in there, use it to call, text family, things of that sort. So I change my SIM card out every so often, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, into a different phone. This Pixel's been out for what, like a month now? 6 weeks now? And I have not changed my SIM card. SIM card has stayed in this phone. I love it. I think and I've been using this. Do y'all use yours with no case? Typically, we do the best case reviews here. I love cases. It's one of my expensive hobbies. Buy tons of cases. I've done case giveaways. In fact, you know what? Does anybody have a Pixel 8 series that's watching? Hang on. I have literally a trash bag full of cases. Hang on. Let me go check. I was going to give some away for free. Hang on. There goes my light. Does anybody have a Pixel 8? Pixel 8 Pro. Does anybody have a Pixel 8 Pro? Because if you do, I'll send you some cases for free. A whole small trash bag, but there's probably 20 cases in here. If anybody has a Pixel 8 Pro, comment down below. Comment or hit me up. My contact information is in the video description. My email is in the video description. Hit me up, and I will send you some free cases. Completely, 100% free. Pixel 8 Pro. Got a bunch of cases here. Different colors, different styles. Thin cases, protective cases. I think is that a screen protector? No, that's a... Actually, let's see. And then we'll get into the news here in a second. You still got a Pixel 8 Pro? Hit me up. Carlos, hit me up. Email me. My email is in the description. It's taylor@esimstudios.com, and I'll send these to you for free. How about that? That's probably a couple $100 worth of cases in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got a lot. Pixel 8 Pro, Rinky, Spigen. These are in good condition. I use these for case reviews and never really used them again. That's dope. Got silicone we got silicone cases. I got very tough cases for you. Gold one. You're probably not going to want this one, but silicone cases with rings on them. What do they call them? Shit, where am I? There we go. See that ring? Yeah, if anybody's got an 8 Pro, hit me up and email me, and I'll get your I'll get your shipping information, and I'll mail them to you 100% for free. I got a lot of stuff, so yeah, if you want to, it's up to you, Carlos. If you want some of these, let me know, and I'll ship them to you for free. So got a lot of those. I'll put these down to the side. And whoever wants some, hit me up and I'll send some to you for free. Free cases over here. And what else do I have? I got cases for S24 Plus. If anybody got an S24 Plus, I got cases S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra. If you got one of those phones, hit me up. Free cases. Yeah, as you can tell, most of them don't have only been used. So what I do for my case reviews, so I know there's a lot of people online that do case reviews. I say we do ours. I do the most extensive, most accurate. I've had people comment like some of my case reviews are 15 minutes long on one case, or 18 minutes. People comment, they're like, why is a case review 15 minutes long? Well, because I love cases. I mean, so what I do is I actually use them. So I'll use when I get a case, either regardless if I buy one or one is sent to me, I'll use it for a few days and then I'll record the video. So probably 99% of case reviews you see on YouTube, they'll just literally open it up on camera and then put it on the phone. Like, they don't really use it, which I don't really understand why. But so these cases have like 3 days of use on them, and that's it. I just got them, did the video, and then them to the side. So I have a handful of cases that I personally use in rotation. You'll see here Spigen. I think this is the rugged armor. I'll use that a lot of the times. And then I'll use Thinborn. I love my Thinborn cases. And Nilken. So my go-to cases that I use on a daily basis is Spigen, Rinky, Spigen, Rinky, and Thinborn. Pretty good selection. But everything else, so again, if you're out there, if you're watching this live or you're watching this on repeat, and we'll move on, but just to be clear, if you want a free case, hit me up, be my guest. I'll send one to you I'll send a couple to you for free. If you have a Pixel 8 Pro, if you have an S24 Plus, I appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you. Yeah, as soon as this live stream is done, I'll reply to your email and I'll send you whatever you want. Again, Pixel 8 Pro, S24 Plus. I'm just looking down at the stack I have. S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra, and what else do I have? I could probably let a Pixel 9 Pro XL go as well. I got a couple of those. So, what do you think of Poetic cases? They're all right. I've personally purchased, I think, 2. So now they have never sent me anything, and I don't hold anything against them for not sending me anything. That's up to them. But personally, I've only personally purchased 2. Now, when it comes to cases, there's 2 things that I use or that I think about when I purchase them, right? Not only I like the look of them. Well, I guess 3: the look or style, the protection, and then how it feels in your hand. And maybe I need to do like a rating system. Maybe I'll do that moving forward, a rating system when I do my case reviews. I have hundreds of case reviews. In fact, I have a playlist of all my case reviews. I think there's like, I don't know, 300. It's got to look cool. Now, so that's one. How cool does it look? Does it look visually appealing, right? The aesthetics, the style is 1. 2, protection. Obviously, that's why you have a case, right? Can it protect my phone? And 2 things. If it drops in the house or office, or if it drops outside on concrete. And then 3rd is how it feels. So I had a really, really, really cool case for the Flip series phone, right? And I don't use a case with this because all the cases for the flip phones pop off, right? If it hits the ground, they just fly off. So I got insurance on here. It's whatever. So that's how I basically choose. Now, Poetic. Personally, I have not found a Poetic case that I really like or think looks good. Now, my opinion is different from your opinion, and that's totally fine. I get it, and that's why I don't ever say anything bad about Poetic, because I don't, it's all personal. Do they protect? Yes, they do protect your phone. I just haven't found one that is visually appealing to me, so that's just why I haven't purchased them with my own money. But if you like them, go right ahead. I believe they are fairly protective. So they'll get the check mark for that. It just comes down to look. I just haven't really found their style that really appealing or anything yet that is visually appealing. But might change in the future. This is what watch. This is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 7. Now, I have Samsung everything, which you may think, well, why you do that when you have a Pixel? For one thing, it's funny. I love Pixel phones, but I absolutely do not like their earbuds and do not like their watch. For one thing, their watch is kind of girly to me, honestly. And yeah, I've reviewed some watches here, but guess what? They're not for me. So I just think they're girly looking, the watches. And then the earbuds, I don't like Pixel buds. For one thing, the batteries don't last long, and number 2, they always fall out of my ear. Samsung, the only earbuds that I've tried that really stay in. I even have the Nothing Buds Ear A here with the stem design, and those don't really stay in my ear all that well too. It's odd, and again, it's just the way my ear is. I don't know, but these are the only ones that stay on my ear. Now, if the only earbuds that stayed in my ear were the OnePlus buds, then I'd be wearing OnePlus buds. But it just so happens Samsung buds are in my ear. Fit in my ear, so that's why I'm wearing them. Number 2, Samsung watch. I love this thing, and I am not a watch person, but I love this watch. It's the first smartwatch I've ever had that I actually like. It fits. I don't know what they did. And I've had the 6 series, the one before this. I've had the 5 series. I've had the 4 series. Every year they come out, I'll buy one, try it. And in the past, I've always sent them back. So whether it's fit, whether it's design, whether it's... I think with the Watch 5, Series 5, it was so annoying with the notifications. I couldn't get it to stop beeping. It was because I run an online business, so I'm getting notifications every 10, 15, 30 seconds. And I just could not get it to stop beeping. This one, I can finally mute the notifications. It's a perfect fit. It looks good. Battery life is mad long. I could wear this. Is probably 2 days battery life. I took it off the charger. Where am I at? 81%. I took it off the charger this morning at 9 a.m. and it's at 81%, and we're already late afternoon, so definitely a 2.5 day battery watch. Never had that before. So Samsung Galaxy Watch, I got this when they were launched, a very good deal. I only paid like $52 out of pocket. It was one of the trade-in deals, right? So if they have Samsung, they would have their launch deals. So if you trade it, I don't know, it was like a watch 4, I could get up to $200 back, and then this was like $250 or $249. So I traded in a old Galaxy Watch 4, and then got this. Only paid like $52 or $58. So, anyways, yeah, I don't Poetic. I haven't even seen what their cases look like lately. Do you have one? We'll get into the news here in just a second. Okay, so check this out. So actually, this one for the Pixel doesn't look too bad. Let me show you. Check this out. So this one right here, the one in the middle, $22. They have one with MagSafe. This one doesn't look too bad. Also, I don't like bulky cases, so yeah, it looks a little too bulky for my liking. So these phones are already huge. I want something thin and something that protects. But obviously, if something's thin, it's not going to protect something, right, as good enough as if it has a thick bumper around it, like this Poetic case. But that's just me. It's just personal preference. I think it looks okay. Now, I wouldn't use the screen protector on here, but it looks a little too big for my liking. But it is what it is. Some people got to have that protection, and hey, I totally get it. I totally get it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out to them and see if they want me to review anything. Maybe we can get something working. You do have one for the Pixel 9 Pro XL? I have one for the Pixel 9 Pro XL Poetic. I have the Revelation model. Let me see that real quick. Let's see. You said Revolution model, I think you meant to say. Or did I read that wrong? I think Revolution. Here we go. Check this out. You got this one right here. Revolution. It has a kickstand on it. That's pretty cool. Well, look, here's the thing. It is nice because it does come with a screen protector case. It is very protective, so you can almost guarantee it has military grade drop protection. So look, I totally get it. It does protect. I can guarantee you that it will protect your phone. So that's a good choice, right? That's a really good choice to keep your phone safe, and that's what they're for. Cases are to keep your phone from breaking, and I'm sure Poetic does a fantastic job at that. It looks like it, especially if you're outside all the time. Shoot, even inside. I've unfortunately broken a phone inside before, but let's get into the news. Oh no, you're all good. Yeah, I figured it out. Let's see real quick. Where am I at? 29 minutes. Okay, good. Let's see. So we reported every now and then. So not only does this channel talk about, we do case reviews, right? We do unboxings. We're basically all technology, all mobile technology, right? Now we also look into the business of technology. It's something that we do not quite often, but every once in a while, especially when something interesting comes across the table. And I have something interesting here. So, as you know, and kind of what got us into our little sidetracked at the beginning, but the Google Pixel, right? Where they're headed, the product that they are putting out. So it's been a little bumpy road, but I think they're on the right path, right? So even dating back to the Nexus days, those were a hit. I say a hit, but for the kind of developer community, and not saying it was a developer phone, but that's why they stopped the Nexus brand and kind of moved into the Pixel brand, was to compete in the high-end market, right? Against Apple iPhone, against Samsung Galaxy S series. And like I said, kind of been a bumpy road, but I think they're ironing out all of the little quirks that they had, and it appears that they're on the right road. So about 6 months, probably more than 6 months, I'm going to say almost about a year ago, there was a report saying that Google their market share is steadily growing, right? And it was weird because the country that had the biggest growth as far as market share, so when we say market share, that means percentage. It doesn't mean total number of phones sold. Market share means percentage. So out of 100 people, well, you're the total population, but to break it down and make it a little simpler, out of 100 people, what percentage is using iPhone? What percentage is using a Galaxy? What percentage is using a Xiaomi? What percentage is using a Motorola? What percentage is using a Pixel? So market share, and interestingly enough, the phone manufacturers obviously look at total number of units sold. That's more data that they look at when it comes down to revenue. But they really spend a little extra time, a little extra focus on market share. So market share is a good piece of data, kind of indicate how popular, right, or your product is. What percentage of the people in a certain market are using your phone? Now, the highest market share percentage previous to the news that I have today was interestingly enough, Japan. So Japan had the largest market share of, I believe it was right around 7%. Now, we got some news today that says the market share in the United States has gone up for Pixel. And it's gone way up for Pixel. So I'm going to present to you a little graph right here. Now, this graph shows the last 12 months for Google, for the Pixel specifically, Google Pixel. Now, the Pixel means, in this data, it means the Pixel, all the current devices that were released in the previous year. So this means then the Pixel 9 series. So that's the Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 Pro XL, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and also the Pixel 8a. The A series is a big seller for Google. You can see Samsung steadily just keeping its pace right there, and iPhone. Interestingly enough, right? So if one in Pixel at the very bottom with that arrow shows it shooting way up. Now that's over the last few months, and this whole graph is over the last year. What this graph tells us, now this is in the United States only. This is not in the world. This is not in Japan that I spoke earlier. This is in the United States. You can see if one company makes a huge leap, meaning they grab a huge percentage of market share, then where is that other percentage decreasing for what other company, right? Because all this totals to 100%, right? Let's say 100 people. So Pixel jumped up to 14%, which is a huge number. I'm sure the Pixel department in Google, the Made by Pixel a group, is ecstatic with this news coming out. I'm sure they knew probably before us because this data was just released this morning. Now look at iPhone up there. iPhone decreased, seemingly right around the same point where Pixel took their shot, way up, took that upturn. That's where iPhone took the downturn. So to me, this means it states that Pixel has been higher than ever usage, percentage of people using them in the United States. And that means iPhone took a pretty big dip. Now, two reasons, maybe more, but two right off the top of my head. The Pixel 9 series, as Carlos was saying, as many of y'all have been saying, we love these Pixel phones, and this year the 9 series was a home run. It looks beautiful, it feels beautiful in your hand. It's a fantastic device, right? I know it doesn't have the best processor, but everyday usage, I can't tell the difference. It's never stuttered, it's never hiccuped, it's never buffered, I don't get a nothing. Never overheated, and I took it out in the heat, and here in the South Texas heat, which previous models, my Pixel 7 Pro, overheated. It's just a good phone and takes the best photos out of any phone in North America. It's a proven fact. So it's just a badass phone. It just works. It's simple to use. It looks beautiful. It's a really good phone. And I think you're seeing people, the iPhone market share decrease because this is a boring phone. It looks the same as the last 2, 3, 4, 5 iPhones. Sure, it has a strong CPU in it, but this thing is slow as hell. I don't play games. I'm a multitasker, so I have freaking 20 apps open in the background. I'm jumping between this app and then boom, boom, boom. I'm going here, going there. Oh no, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta send an email. Let me boom, 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 real quick. So I gotta have a lot of RAM. Pixel provides that. Phone seems like it took a dose of Robitussin or something, right? I mean, they say this has 120 hertz, and I know I've seen those. I've seen those clips on social media where they're actually in developer mode, and it'll tell you what the refresh rate is in the top right corner of this phone. 80 hertz. 80 hertz. And they say, oh, it's got 120 hertz on it. Maybe it has it in the phone, but it's not moving that fast. 80 hertz. I use this thing, I'm like, God damn, why is this thing so slow? It's slow. I mean, I'm not saying buffering slow. It doesn't get hung up. It doesn't glitch out. I'm just talking using the phone, switching from app to app, closing out apps, going into settings, going into your recents, flipping between your recents. Oh, I want to close a few out. It is slow as hell doing that, and it drives me crazy. That's why I haven't picked this phone up. Like, I want to do more videos and stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hate using this thing. It's slow as hell. So it sits on my desk. This thing, blazing fast. Now, on paper, it does not have the best processor. I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but this thing is boring. That's why the iPhone sales have dropped off. That's why some people are like, you know what? Let me try the Pixel. Now, maybe I could find those numbers for us. People that have switched from iPhone to Google. And who knows? Maybe they'll switch back to iPhone when the iPhone 17 comes out. Maybe. Android is, I may be called crazy, and that's totally fine. And now I'm going off on this little tangent. Android is the far superior operating system. It is faster. It is smoother. It is easier to use. I have to use this with my left hand. I can't even use this with my right hand because you can't swipe to the back screen. You can't swipe to the previous screen from the right side. You can only swipe back when you go, look, I don't want to show phone numbers. Look, camera, go back, swipe left, right? Well, let's go in between settings. That's kind of a dumb example, but watch. All right, so I'm in Chrome, right? Look at this. I'm going to go back. Oh, I can't go back. Now, I can typically go back by swiping to the left, right? Damn, I'm some bad examples here. Watch. Holy crap. So let's say it's going to notifications, right? Watch this. When I want to go back to the left, right? Back. Now watch. Same page. If I want to go back, I can't go back from the right. Watch. Y'all see that? Like, why is that? Android. I'm in my apps, right? I'm gonna go back. I want to go back. It's easier, it's fast, and that's just not the one example. I have a couple more, but I'm kind of wasting time here. But you get the point. In my opinion, Android's better, but iPhone users won't know that until they actually try it. Now I know if you've been using an operating system for a year or two, you're probably going to be used, or more than a year. If you've used an iPhone your whole life, we're on the 14th iPhone. 16th iPhone. You've been using it for 16 years, so I get it. You know the operating system inside and out. But there's a little things, and I've made a list of things. I'm gonna make a video difference between iPhone, Android, what have you. But Android's way better. I don't know. I'm probably biased, but it is what it is. Now check this out. I got the numbers here. Let me move my. There we go. So the link for this, if you want to view this, chart, I have a list in the video description. I already put it there. Normally, sometimes I'll put links when the live stream is done, but I went and put a link to this company, Stat Counter. What is it? Stat Counter? Yeah. Website. That's all they do is market research. So the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the description box. It's a link directly. They have a bunch of different data you can go observe, pull up. You can download the chart. You can put it in HTML mode if you want to add it to a website. Or if you want to download the PNG file, you can download the picture, you can download the graphs. That's all they do is market research, right? So they do it for phones, they do it for electronics, laptops, they do it by country. So you can do all of North America, all of Japan, all of Mexico, all of Canada, or you can select the countries. And now this is just for the United States. But currently, market share, Apple's at 51%, meaning 51% of Americans use an iPhone. Samsung is at 23%, almost 24% of Americans use a Samsung. Now, that could be a S24 Ultra, or it could be an S22 Plus, right? It's just Samsung Galaxy, right? It doesn't mean the very latest, right? Same thing with iPhone. Could be the 16 Pro Max. It could be the iPhone 12, right? And then you have the Pixel right there, almost 15%. Now, when I saw this number, my jaw hit the floor because I think last year, of course, I could look it up. It's at that link in the video description. I believe it was right around 5%. I think it was like 4.7 or 4.8%, meaning 5% of Americans only use. That's very little. But bam, they shot up to almost 15% market share in the United States. That's a huge improvement, and bravo to the Pixel department at Google. Hats off to you. That's y'all are going to be ecstatic in the office tomorrow. I'm sure y'all are going to get congratulated. That's a huge improvement, and they're doing everything right. And it gets me trying to get off of this little tangent and on to the next story. And let me show you why, because I think it will increase. Now, I'll be here next year, obviously, and well, knock on wood, and we will do another when their market share comes out for at the end of 2025. I can promise you, I bet their market share was going to be, I hate to say, because even 5% is a huge bump. Because I was like, damn, maybe they'll be up to 20%. But even a 5% market share jump is huge. Like, I'm telling you, if you going from 5% to 15% is mind-blowing. Is an enormous jump. 10%, what's the big deal? That's a huge deal. And I was going to say, shoot, even maybe 20% next year market share might be wishful thinking, but maybe it's not. They're on the right path. They're on the right path for this Pixel device. They found a design. Now, I don't expect them, and I don't want them to stay on this design for 6 years like iPhone has. Look, tweak this design, but roughly keep it the same way, right? Looks wise. Keep this design. It looks beautiful. Classic look. Keep this. Everybody knows what a Pixel is when they see this phone, right? So I want Google to roughly keep the same design. You know, you can modify it slightly. But next year and the year after, that's when the performance boost is going to hit. That's when you can really feel confident. And again, I don't play games, so maybe that's where it kind of obviously, you know, might struggle a little bit versus its competitors in the flagship division. But I have no complaints. This thing, wow, as I just drop it, this thing runs fast as hell, speed-wise, right? App to app, does everything I need it to. So very, very fast. So they're in the right direction by making and manufacturing their own CPU. It will get much faster. And here is another. Let me pull up this real quick. Let me show you what I was talking about earlier. Let me pull up this report. So this report, check this out. I'm going to pull up the report that ultimately was false. Let me share my screen. So this report came out, what was it? Late last week. Let me change my view here. There we go. So this report came out maybe late last week, right? Tensor G5 with a new cluster has been spotted in a benchmark leak, with history repeating itself as far as disappointing results go. Now, again, I started saying, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream by saying I saw this headline, and at first thought, I was like, God damn, here we go. But I was like, you know, that can't be. And I'm pretty sure I didn't report on this because I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait until we get a little closer for the Pixel 10 to launch before I say anything about the CPU, right? It was just something fun. I was like, there's something funny about it. And again, that's why I didn't say anything. I saw it, but I didn't say anything. Well, this report that turned out to be false was saying how there was a leaked benchmark testing from their new upcoming Pixel 10 CPU, and it only showed a very, very minor improvement over the current G4. Saying, damn, that's weird because we're expecting a pretty significant increase in performance. Well, it turns out that report was false. Because now a story came out today saying the Tensor G5 shown in previous benchmark leak, which was the article we just took a look at, of an unreleased version of the Tensor, was an unreleased version of the Tensor G4 with a different power VR GPU and CPU configuration that Google was testing. So that report that claimed it was the Tensor G5, the upcoming Pixel 10 CPU, was in fact the current Pixel 9 series CPU. So that was false. That would explain why it only showed just a minor slight improvement. Well, it was one of their testing CPUs that they were tweaking. You know, they do all sorts of testing. They were just tweaking that version. Now, remember, it said the one that showed minor improvements had a power VR GPU, which was different from the one that's supposed to be in this new Tensor G5, or that's currently in the Pixel 9 series as well. in the G4. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now, what kind of power improvements can we expect? Because I think the Tensor G4 that we have now in the Pixel 9 series was only a 4 to 7% increase in overall benchmark testing from the previous G3 in the Pixel 8 series. It was like 4 to 7%. I'm estimating, and I could be totally wrong, and that's fine, I've been wrong before. I think the new G5 CPU in Tensor G5 CPU in the Pixel 10, you're going to see, I'm guessing, a 25 to 30% increase in performance, which is pretty big for a CPU. Now, the new Snapdragon 8 Elite has like a 40% increase over the 8 Gen 3, which is mind-blowing performance. Now, increase. And that's due to new architecture they're putting in these Orion cores that are in CPUs, kind of putting that technology in the Snapdragon CPUs. But remember, you should see a big performance boost in these new Pixel 10 CPUs because Google is now using the TSMC manufactured packing process for making, designing. They work hand in hand with Google in designing these chips and manufacturing. So you will see a significant performance increase. That's why I was like, I don't know about that other article that when it came out, I was like, that doesn't, something seems fishy with that one. Only a minor improvement? No, we should see a significant improvement. So, look, we will keep our eye. I'm guessing if these come out, if the Pixel 10 series comes out in, what was it, August? Or was it September? Yeah, it was August, right? It was right around my birthday. Okay. I think we'll start to get Tensor G5 G5 leaks as far as performance and benchmark leaks and schematics probably after the new year. Probably with 6 months to go is when you're going to start seeing some leaks, especially when you get up to 4 months to go. So right around the new year, up until about May is probably when you're going to see a lot of leaks start to come to surface, because that's when they really start testing. You'll see pictures of it because they also manufacture some test devices that they hand out in the office, in the boardroom, and everybody uses them to test them out and use them, see how they like them. So right around that May, probably right May, right around there, March, April, May, you're going to start to see a bunch of leaks performance-wise with the new CPU. And then also look-wise. Now, remember, Google leaks their phones, at least they did with this Pixel 9 series. Like, Google will leak their own stuff. That's what they did for this phone. Like 6 months into this, or 6 months to go, before they launched this phone, they had already started putting out leaks. So I think they were so excited by how it looks. That must be it. It looks so good. They just couldn't help themselves. So anyways, if you did see that leaked performance chart, it was false. It was incorrect. So we can expect more from the Tensor G5 as we get closer. Now, speaking of CPUs, wow. So Apple, it's no secret, right? Their CPUs are pretty freaking strong. There's a new, they have different tiers, right? They got an M4 CPU, M4 Pro. They also have an M4 Ultra, which is like a maxed out version of their CPU. Damn, it got really dark outside. I'm probably going to get a storm here in a second. This new M4 Ultra, y'all see the headline? This new M4 Ultra that Apple's designing for their Mac Pro has an 80-core GPU. You heard me right. 80-core, 80-core GPU. Holy shit. As Apple said to be in a better position to enter the mainstream gaming market. So a CPU and GPU should be pretty freaking strong. Now, I don't know. It's apparent they're going to put this in the MacBook Pro or Mac Pro. I'm not sure if that's desktop intended, or I know they have a MacBook Pro. Probably going to go in there, and a desktop. Jesus Christ, that's going to be a very strong CPU. So it looks like it'll come with a base 16 gigs of RAM, unified RAM. Thank God, it looks like they finally threw the 8 gig of RAM to the curb. By the way, Best Buy, you can get a brand new MacBook Air with this new M4 Pro chipset for $799. Now, you have to have a trade-in. I don't get any kickbacks from Best Buy. I was just on there today, and that's a really good deal. I'm not using a Mac, but if you want to, Best Buy has a fantastic deal right now for a brand new MacBook Air with the M4 chipset. Not this one, but similar M4 for $799. That's a steal. I think normally they're what, $1,200, $1,300. So I don't have any links or anything. I was just on there earlier. So hit up Best Buy and then just search MacBook. You'll see the deal. But I'm sure this will be really, really good for gaming. Should be able to have some pretty good frame rates with AAA titles in this CPU. So interesting. It'll have a... So real quick before we move on to Intel and get out of here. So this new M4 Ultra probably going to have a 32-core CPU, an 80-core GPU. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Very impressive. Like I said, I love trolling Apple, but you got to give it, you got to give them praise when it looks like they're doing something good, and that is sure a strong CPU. I'm never going to use it, but looks pretty cool. All right, so check this out real quick before we get out of here. Normally, this would be like a throwaway article, and maybe it is, but I just wanted you all to know that it would be pretty significant, right? So, as you know, the government bails out big American companies sometimes if they have to, like what they do with the airlines, right? Bailed out. Who'd they bail out? I think all of them during the 2008 when the economy collapsed. Anyways, there's a new article saying U.S. politicians are reportedly open to potential Intel merger deal as they explore options to pull Team Blue, which is Intel, out of danger. Intel is in a nosedive. They're getting beat in sales. They're getting beat in technology, in R&D, research and development, by AMD and by Qualcomm with this new Snapdragon X Plus and X Elite CPUs, and as well as other companies, right? Especially in the private sector, with NVIDIA getting a lot of contracts for big businesses, for the government, for companies like Meta, right, using NVIDIA CPU, GPUs. Nobody thinks about Intel, right, that much, because they've had and it's their fault. They've had a lot of issues. They had a ginormous issue with their Intel Core i7 13th gen, I think, like black screen of death, or they've had a lot of issues. They just can't get their shit together. And their stock prices took a nosedive. One of the company's biggest stock plunge in history about 2 months ago. I think it dove 33%, 31% in one day. It wiped out billions and billions of dollars worth of equity to Intel. People just started selling Intel once some more bad news came out. And they do not look like they're headed in the right direction. They continue to nosedive. Stock price continues to get weaker and weaker as each day passes. It's inevitable. It looks like that they are going to probably have to file for bankruptcy, or some huge deal is going to have to happen to essentially save the company, right? So there's been talks where company A, company B was going to buy Intel. Those deals fell through, and they fell through on purpose because another company will come along and say, hey, well, we're interested in merging or purchasing Intel. Now, it has to be a ginormous company like an AMD company that has billions upon billions of dollars. Qualcomm, right, could purchase Intel. Now, when they purchase Intel and you see these deals back out, they're kind of doing one of two things. One thing, they're seeing when you're a company and you buy another company like Intel, basically what you're doing is you basically want to buy their patents. What patents do they own, right? That's a huge part of these tech companies purchasing one another. Now, another reason why they probably backed out is because they wanted to see their books, right? They wanted to see what money's coming in and what money's coming out. What assets do you have? What liabilities do you have? And let me see all those patents you got too. And so they're just kind of snooping around because I saw, was it Qualcomm? I think it was Qualcomm, or was interested in buying Intel, right? No, they weren't. They wanted to see what was going on from the inside out. So they got to look at all their books. They made it seem like they wanted to, right? But they wanted to see, and look, they might in the future. Shit, I don't know. But they wanted to see. They wanted to snoop around. They wanted to see, all right, let's see what assets they have. Let's see what expenditures they have. How are they running their company? I wonder how many patents they have. Oh, I wonder if they have that old patent we could use. Remember we were trying to design that chip, but the legal team said we couldn't because Intel had it. Maybe we can now. So these are all things that go into purchasing big companies like Intel. They're going to have to be saved. I got out of Intel a long time ago. I think the last Intel product I had was a Intel Core, was an i5 or i7. It was an 8th or 9th gen. Now, I did purchase an Intel Core Ultra 7 HP NV360. I reviewed and I returned it. So I don't have it right now. Anyways, it is what it is. Intel, not my first choice. I'm either going with Snapdragon with their new ARM chipsets for PC, or I'm going AMD. I made the switch to AMD, and that's a personal thing, right? Just making sure whatever I purchase, computer-wise, is AMD when it comes to CPU. Just personal preference. Typically, in the past, AMD's had stronger performing products at cheaper prices. Now, those prices have kind of caught up a little bit, kind of gotten higher in the last year or two for AMD, but just better products, right? And that's industry wide. So I think that's a pretty common take on AMD versus Intel. But just be on the lookout. So their government might bail out Intel. They might also find a company, a partner, to acquire Intel. So they're basically reaching out to the government, or the government's reaching out to them. I don't know which one is which, but they want to see American companies not fail, basically. So they'll probably help Intel out, maybe with a little bailout package to keep them afloat for the next year while they shop partners, as far as somebody wanting to acquire Intel. And then depending on how they negotiate that help me out money, Intel might have to give that back to the government after they're acquired by AMD or NVIDIA or Meta, something like that. So all this stuff is negotiable, and they got much smarter people working on this than me. But just be on the lookout. If you see in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months Intel being purchased, it should be a big deal. I don't know how big, time will tell, but let's say Qualcomm does purchase Intel, or let's say AMD does purchase Intel. It just strengthens their portfolio as far as products and patents that they can now make that they couldn't in the past because Intel had the design rights to that architecture or naming rights to one of their products. So I'll keep an eye on this so y'all don't have to. I don't know. Most of y'all probably think this is boring, but I find it to be pretty interesting. But I got to get out of here. I am now out of time, but thank you very much. Please stay safe. Appreciate y'all joining us today. What's going on, guys? I didn't see y'all earlier. I was having a case giveaway. If you still have an S24 Plus, if you still have an S24 Ultra, if you got an S23 Ultra, if you have a Pixel 8 Pro, hit me up. I got some cases to give away for free. Shipping them. Oh, you know what? You still have that phone too, right? Because I need to ship you a couple cases. I came across some phone 2 cases here I need to ship. So if you got S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra, S24 Plus, Pixel 8 Pro, hit me up. I got some cases to give away for free. I'll ship them to you for free. I gotta run, guys. If you need to get in touch, my email is in the description box below. Taylor@esimstudios.com. I got you, brother. I'll ship those to you. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.